Transcending history and the world, a tale of souls and swords, eternally retold. The Soul Calibur series is far and away one of my favorite in all of gaming, and the characters of Soul Calibur are a big reason why. Tragic heroes, terrifying villains, there are so many great characters across the franchise, all of whom have interesting stories, designs, weapons, and fighting skills. With so many characters to choose from, it was a bit tricky narrowing it down to just 5, and while I love pretty much all the Soul Calibur cast, these 5 picks are my personal favorites. So, in no particular order, here are my favorite 5 Soul Calibur characters. Number 1. Xianghua. A member of the Chinese Imperial Guard, Xianghua was trained in the art of the sword from an early age. Little did Xianghua know that she was destined to become the first to wield Soul Calibur in over an age. Together with her friends Maxi and future love Killick, she defeated the evil manifestation known as Inferno, and would continue to fight evil for years to come. Even after Soul Calibur had passed from her, Xianghua was a highly skilled fighter. Her swift attacks with her sword and unpredictable fighting style can keep any opponent on edge. Xianghua fights with such grace that many of her attacks seem to be part of a dance, and combined with her happy, gung-ho attitude, she is one of the series' brightest and most elegant fighters. Even though she was not part of the events of Soul Calibur 5, I believe that Xianghua's story is not yet over, and that we shall see the beautiful Chinese warrior once again.
Killick.
It is my responsibility from here on.
No!
Please, I want you to be able to lead an ordinary life and find your own happiness.
But what about you? What about your happiness?
I don't deserve to be happy.
Being with you is what makes me happy. It's the only thing I need. It's all I want. Why can't you understand that?
Number 2. Astaroth. The demonic power of Soul Edge was not only coveted by man, but gods as well, as the god of war Ares desired this weapon for himself. Astaroth, a golem of incredible strength, was created by the cult of Ares to undertake this quest. Astaroth later banded together with many other villains to obtain the cursed sword, but he was never truly successful, and so grew his desire for more power, as well as his own freedom. Ultimately defying both Ares and his cult, Astaroth forged a new path of destruction. In combat, Astaroth is arguably the slowest character in the game, but he more than makes up for it with his range and his colossal strength. Using his giant axe, Astaroth can cleave his opponents from across the arena, and when he gets in close he can perform devastating close-range attacks. Astaroth's monstrous appearance and brutal attacks make him one of my favorite characters in the series, and his intense hunger for souls make him a frightening villain indeed.
So this is the power of Soul Edge. No, it's not enough for me. I need more!
Number 3. Tolland. This young priestess of the wind is one of the series' true selfless heroes. Tolland can hear the cries of the wind, and when the fabric of nature is threatened by energies like the cursed sword Soul Edge, she won't rest until the earth is once again at peace. Guided by the wind, this young adventurer has not only helped defend the world, but also helped defend the good in those around her. Even in the midst of such threatening characters like the ancient Algol, Tolland shows compassion and hopes for the best in everyone. When Tolland enters battle, she wields her dual elbow blades. With her quick strikes and her agile jumps, Tolland can effortlessly maneuver in combat thanks to her teachings as a wind priestess. She can perform some of the most dazzling combos in the game, and all her attacks are so fluid that she is a joy to play. Tolland is cute, courageous, kind-hearted, and an excellent fighter, easily making her one of my favorite 5.
I won't even question what these swords are. However, they threaten the very fabric of nature. So I'll return them to their true forms. And you as well.
Father.
My son.
O wind, I beg of you, bring peace and tranquility to all.
Number 4. Sophie Tia. The virtuous holy warrior. The servant of Hephaestus. Loving mother. All these titles describe the Greek warrior Sophie Tia. In her youth, Sophie Tia was tasked to destroy the cursed blade Soul Edge by the god Hephaestus. Throughout the years to come, Sophie Tia would continue her quest in defeating Soul Edge and its evil forces, and during this time, she would eventually wed her love, Rothian. Sophie Tia became mother to 2 children, Patroclus and Pyrrha. However, the will of Soul Edge saw the makings of a powerful new host in Pyrrha, and Sophie Tia fought to protect her child from its grasp, even sacrificing her own honor to do so. Ultimately, Sophie Tia is a just warrior and a beloved mother who fought for good, and even though her fate remains a mystery, she is one of the greatest heroes of the Soul Calibur series. In combat, Sophie Tia is a fantastic mid-range fighter, making effective use of her short sword and shield. Sophie Tia's weapons allow for some brilliant combo attacks, and her splendid kicks and the occasional butt bounce make her very fun to play. She has a fast, hard-hitting moveset, as well as some of the most satisfying grab moves in the series. She's a marvelous fighter, and has been one of my favorites since her introduction back in the original Soul Calibur. What lies in her soul is truth.
You have a child as well?
Time is cruel. Even with all this power, I cannot undo the past. Now, brave mother, return to your child.
Number 5. Siegfried. Siegfried is arguably the main protagonist of the Soul Calibur series. He begins the story as a reckless young warrior, then becomes the host for Soul Edge, turning into the villainous Nightmare. And finally, Siegfried breaks free and redeems himself as one of the series' greatest heroes. Siegfried terrorized the world as the Azure Knight, Nightmare, but in his later years he would fight for redemption and atone for his past sins. It's these elements of his character that make him one of my absolute favorites. He has one of the best character arcs in the entire series, and one of the few to wield both Soul Calibur and Soul Edge. Siegfried most recently was shown as the head of the warrior group Schwarzwind in Soul Calibur 5, and I hope to see him return if the series receives a new chapter. In addition to being a strong character, Siegfried is one of the strongest fighters in the stage of history. Whether it's Soul Edge, Soul Calibur, or his signature sword, Requiem, Siegfried wields massive greatswords that are capable of dealing massive damage. Despite their great size and weight, Siegfried's attacks with his weapons are surprisingly fast. His attacks can chain into different stances, allowing for great mix-up potential, and combined with his great range, he is a formidable fighter indeed. Siegfried is an amazing character that I always enjoy playing as, and is a great example of why I love the Soul Calibur series so much.
Yes. I was the one who was called the Azure Knight.
I see. You certainly acknowledge your guilt without hesitation.
You have brought an end to the evil that was born from me. For that, I thank you. I have nothing more to regret. Now, kill me, and bring an end to it all.
True warriors think not of themselves, but of others. You have sacrificed everything to atone for your sins. And demonstrated true valor. Now that everything has come to an end, I, Hildegard von Krone, declare that you, Siegfried Stoffen, are forgiven for your sins.
So those were my favorite 5 Soul Calibur characters. What are some of your favorites? Feel free to share in the comments below. Leave a like, and the legend will never die. Until next time, keep having great adventures, everyone.
Ring out!